All right. Welcome back to Bring the Juice. I'm your host, Frank Dalena. Today on the pod, it's been a long time coming. A guy you're going to get to know more and more. You army of grit. You Bring the Juice Nation. I got Steven Comstock.
First we gonna rock, then we gonna fold, then we let it pop, don't let it go.
Steve, it's your time.
It might be too long coming, Frank. How long have we known each other since, 2018?
I mean, that's not that long ago.
It's a while. I haven't been on the podcast, and I'm a little salty. I am a little salty, fellas.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Are you, though?
No.
Tell people how you feel.
I was fortunate enough to come on when we won the 2023 or 2022 Mountain West Championship, which was amazing. But, I mean, I think it's long overdue to have my debut as a Bring the Juice guest.
Well, I think there's a lot of variables to it. One of the criterias of being a Bring the Juice guest is being an elite athlete who chases greatness, while also chasing greatness in other variables of life, which you've done all of. So, yeah, you have a right to be a little bit salty about things. But at the same time, in the words of great Lil Wayne, life is a bitch and death is your sister. So I don't know what to say.
Hey, clearly I didn't separate enough, right?
Yeah, clearly, huh?
Clearly, huh?
Got to find that competitive edge, Steve.
Absolutely.
But, Steve, I also want to bring up the fact of the growth of Bring the Juice real quick. I'm one guy, right? I'm one guy. I'm one heartbeat.
Okay, I want to interject here real quick. Sorry, Frank. I remember when Bring the Juice was first starting, and I feel like I was kind of a part of the initial, like how it kind of all came about.
Your founding father is what you're trying to say.
No. I'm not claiming that at all. But do we not remember you and I, fall camp, like any given day, Coach Ward is like, "Hey guys, we gotta bring the juice," and we would both just be absolutely electric.
Steve.
Absolutely.
Steve,
juice, guys.
It comes well before that. There was a generation when I was a young lad where Bring the Juice. It's people who follow the show understand where it was a mantra, man. Even back in the 111 days, it might be a little flat. Hey, someone's got to get the piss hot in the room, and as you know, juice is contagious.
Absolutely,
it's contagious. So you start getting a little fired up, get your boy fired up. Maybe we were in the weight room, right? And it's not even max day. You're like, slide another 10 on real quick.
Let's go.
Slide another 10 on real quick. Maybe a little DMX in the background. All of a sudden, you get your boy, a little hot outside. You stroke this rep, and all of a sudden, you're like, oh, you look at your boy, but hey, hit that shit.
Yes.
All of a sudden, whole weight room's around you. You got dreams and nightmares playing, shirts off.
Hey, water getting throwing.
Boys are good. Got a nice golden tan from the summer.
Absolutely.
You got this testosterone. Season's about to start up right now. And it's like, that's juice.
I have a picture of
was a flat day.
I have a picture of Frank and I and Josh Hokett, and Frank had told me, he was like, "If you don't have your shirt off every day, you're a coward." And I got the most golden tan I've ever gotten, and it was all because Frank was like, "You're a coward."
As a 27-year-old who works on a farm every day, my arms still have the golden. My chest is like pasty mayonnaise, bro.
Yeah, I'm getting that, and it's a little shocking.
It's depressing. It's post athlete depression, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Like identity crisis.
And
like,
also,
what's going on?
my brothers who are still playing are golden. So.
I mean, I don't know if you heard, but like Mac was doing great. I was at the practice on Wednesday, and it was the first live day, and it was amazing. It was great. Offense was getting after it. Defense was getting after it. They're hitting. It was awesome. Joe Dalena, one hand snag in one-on-ones was immaculate.
I did hear about
Oh
this.
my goodness, dude. It was raw.
Juice runs in the family.
It does.
Steve, but your new role, what I was getting at with the one heartbeat part where before you interrupted me, I need assets. As you guys know, our main man, Jake, he has excelled. He is the foundation of Juice. He brings Juice to life. We recently brought in our guy, River. He's a new creative mind trying to add to the equation. And with that, I just said, I can't just do it by myself anymore, man. I want people. I want assets to the team. I need guys in my foxhole.
Absolutely.
Right? So first I was thinking, I'm going to go look and see some talent, blah, 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 blah. Then I was like, what am I doing? Hire your boys who know the brand, who are natural. Why am I trying to teach somebody something that has no idea what I'm talking about when in my backyard I got the boys who I'm already chopping up with? Let's get them in front of a mic. Let's teach them how to edit. So we got a few different things we're testing out, little trial runs. And Steven Comstock, a guy who, again, as he said, and we'll get into, I have brought under my wing in life. And as I excelled and did my thing and finished my football career at Fresno State, he became the old head to my younger brothers. And they have their own relationships. And Steve's really like the fourth Dalena brother, realistically.
Absolutely.
He is. He is on paper and not on paper.
What's the age gap between you and Joe?
7 years.
7 years. So
Yeah.
in the 7-year age
7.5,
gap,
yeah.
I've played with all three Dalena brothers.
Yeah, Steve, there's a really unique list of guys who have played with all three Dalena brothers at Fresno State. Steve is in that. And Steve and me, who were friends out of the gate, actually ended up being roommates with Mac and Joe while playing football at Fresno State.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean that was one of the highlights of my career is like
life.
Like, let's think about it. Frank Dalena takes me under his wing, not only in football, but now in life, right? Takes me under his wing. I'm able to have the opportunity to be roommates with Mac. That was an awesome 2 years.
Right.
Joe was, I think, a few months in. I think we had lived together for like 8 months or something like that, maybe a little more. But it was awesome to be able to just go from
the pivot.
Be from, okay, I'm buddies with Frank, I'm good friends with Frank, to, okay, now I've had the whole experience. I've had the three brothers to go along with it. It's been awesome.
Well, it's not like they were foreign when they got there. Like, I think Steve spent many holidays at this house with my folks, and we have this tradition here where we went like a few years consecutively where on Easter we would have, my mom would prepare a great brunch after church. We'd have a little bit, throw a little Johnny Cash on the radio, smoke some cigars, have some French toast, perhaps a little bit of mimosas. I don't know.
A few mimosas, if I might interject.
A few, some might say. And we just shave our heads. It was at points in life where you just got to make a change.
It was one of those things. I remember the first time I did it, and I had long hair because.
No, I remember you did have long hair.
Let's not get it twisted now. Frank was like, you need to have long hair. So I grew out my hair and I grew out my beard, and it was just I looked absolutely just grizzly. It was bad. And Frank's like, you know what? It's time for a change.
It was time to make a change.
It's
time
Easter.
To make a change.
And a few mimosas in, I'm like, shave my head all the way. I think we went down to a 1.
Yeah, we went down to 1. There was no guard. No guard.
Yeah.
No guard.
And Mac did that, and he was cheesing ear to ear, just like shaving my head. And I grabbed the locks, and I'm like, oh, it's real.
It's on.
It's real.
Yeah. I think I've tweeted this recently. Sometimes a good head shave is the change you need to make in your life, man.
Oh, it resets you.
As a man, when you going through things, blah, 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 sometimes it's just like, hey, something ain't working. Shit ain't working. I need to make a change,
It's a personality shift.
I don't got to go
100%.
I think girls go have retail therapy. They go shopping at Lulu and all this crap.
Little shopping spree.
I
Go with their
talk
friends.
to my mom. Hey, I need the scalp out, baby.
Yes.
Get me right.
Get the clippers out. Just bzz.
And just walk out in the living room. And nobody really cares. Like, oh, you made a change. Yeah, man. That first couple of shots. At first, it's like, ooh, I don't know.
That first time I ran my hands through my hair, I was like, ooh, man, this is a change.
But I tell you what also. Those first couple showers, you're like, this is great.
This is amazing.
And then you adjust to it after 3 days, and you're like, why don't I always shave my head?
Exactly. It's so easy.
It's just
better. I can roll out of bed and just brush my teeth, put some deodorant on. It's easy.
Out the door.
Gotcha.
Yep, got him. So Steve's role is he's going to be more involved with the juice. I'm hoping he eventually hits a point where, he's my big cat. He is my donkey. He is my Robin.
Tell me to jump, I say how high.
He is, if I'm Nacho Libre, he's El Conquistador. Esqueleto, yeah. Thank you for that translation. If I'm Michael Scott, he's my Dwight.
Wow.
That's the best one. Clip that. But all that to be said, I want people that I would have in my foxhole in life in the foxhole of what I'm trying to grow. And Steve made that cut. So enough of the gushy shit. If you haven't turned this podcast off by now because of all of it, we'll get into it. See, let's just start off with the obvious, okay? It's August. Dogs are playing soon. This is your first time not being a football player in a long time, and it's football season.
Yeah,
It's
been 6 years.
Yeah.
6 long years of fall camps and all that.
You played a long time in college football, like a fourth of your life.
Absolutely.
You've never tailgated before.
No.
Tell me your expectations.
Well, I think I need to have some friends that have a little bit of a rev.
Show you the ropes.
A rev limiter, you know? You remember when you showed me the ropes in fall camp and in the stadium run when we both had great times in the stadium run? I think we need to put a little rev limiter on it, you know? Like, hey, have a good time, but also, you know, stay coherent,
Sure.
to say the least. I think it's going to be awesome. I think there's a lot of people that I've met, built relationships with that have awesome tailgates, and I think it's going to be so fun. I remember the last 2 years getting Snapchats from all of the boys at the tailgates like, let's go Comstock, we're excited to see you play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, like they're having the time of their lives out there at the tailgates. That's awesome. That's super fun. I'm kind of excited for that moment to be a part of that and to be with the guys and be able to enjoy that experience, you know.
I think your first season when you're done playing ball, you get very nostalgic, right? It whether you like it or not, you could ask Brittany, my wife. There was like a July Saturday. We were just chilling, had a couple brewskis, and like Boys of Fall came on.
Oh man.
And I just started crying. And she's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, dude, I miss it right now. Like,
Yeah.
I miss it right now. Like, football's an emotional game.
Absolutely.
And some guys play with more emotion than others, but, like, you don't realize how much it means to you until it's taken away, one of those deals.
Yeah.
And all that to say, you get nostalgic, and you don't, honestly, you don't even miss the games. Like, yeah, you miss running out of the tunnel, you miss the hype, the build-up, the games itself. But you could ask, I mean, I've talked to QB1, Marcus McMarion, who's one of the legends from our era.
Yeah.
You miss the boys.
Absolutely. So,
Like, you miss the boys.
Exactly what you're talking about. So I went to my first practice since I've been out of football. I didn't go to any spring practices or anything like that. And first time back on campus, and I went to the first live scrimmage or, you know, live period practice on Wednesday. And I'm sitting there. Initially, I'm like, wow, this is fun. I'm enjoying it. You know, everybody's excited, electric. Juices are flowing, you know. And then we get to the live period, and I see one of my boys who's a safety just absolutely light up a guy on short yardage, and I'm like, I'm just going crazy. I'm almost running on the field like, let's go.
Right, you're hyped.
4th down stop, let's go.
Right.
And I'm like, I need to hold myself back.
Calm down. Reel it in.
I don't have pads or a helmet on. I need
Lock it up.
I need to chill out.
Lock
right?
it up.
And then he gets an interception, and I'm like, oh my gosh! And I couldn't help myself. I ran on the field. I'm celebrating with him, and that was
A spectator at Fresno State practice.
yeah. And then
You get shot, and if this was in a game,
and I realized I'm like,
fucking sniper
I'm
would
like,
take you
guys,
out.
I need to hold it in here, right? It's a crazy adjustment of being a guy that was just on the field with these guys, not 9 months ago.
Yeah.
And now I'm you know, starting my life.
You're
I'm
not.
not doing it anymore. And like you said, it's a complete adjustment. I talk about all the time how much I miss the guys, how much the locker room environment, things like that. Those are all some of the best moments through college of, you know, you remember in fall camp how much fun we had in the locker room.
Yeah.
But now it's different, and I absolutely appreciated that day and being able to watch the guys get after it. It kind of gave me it revitalized me.
Right.
It brought my energy up. But it's definitely a transition of going into life. You know?
There is with you saying all that, your first game, you're gonna be so fired up because
Hey, first game is Michigan, and I'm going. It's gonna be electric.
yeah, that's gonna be electric. But your first home game, it's gonna be very nostalgic because I think for me, and it's cool. It's cool for you also because you're not just a fan who's going to a game. You're like,
Right.
I know that Mac is wrapping his wrists right now, and he probably just had activation with
It's an hour and a half
Andy
before
Ward.
the game.
Oh, and
Yes.
you know that the strength coaches are in the locker room right now going,
Can we
returners, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3
hey,
minutes.
Can we talk about Andy Ward's in the locker room pregame speeches?
Oh, dude.
They were so good.
The best one I think I was part of some really good ones.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good ones. When we played the first time, it was at San Diego State, coming off the 1-11 year.
Yes. When Josh Hokett went absolutely crazy.
Josh Hokett went off.
Yes.
Andy Ward was just letting it hang, bro. But I'm not gonna get into that one. Just know he started swag surfing on the sideline when we were up by 3 touchdowns.
I'm swaying. I'm sorry.
There was a game though. I'm not gonna say who we were playing, but we were a game we were supposed to win, and we did win.
Are you talking about Big Bank, take Little Bank?
I'll tell you what,
Oh, baby. Get me hyped up.
So you gotta understand this build up to these games. It's also different when you play at 7:30 at night. Like
Yeah, it's
you
a
wake
long
up,
day.
you're Thursday after practice, you're locked in. Friday morning, you come locked in. You have
First
walkthroughs.
48.
Exactly. You have to lock in,
Yeah.
and then you got team dinner, all your Friday night meetings. Saturday, you're spending your day just in a room, basically watching other games, taking naps, getting your mind right for whatever your own tradition is.
So it's one of those things where you just got to let it build. You can't be too
hard.
hyped. You can't be too hyped too
Yeah.
early. You just got to let it go. As you get through
Right.
the day, you got to be consistent and
Yes.
then let it peak at the right time.
The peak is hard, and you got to keep hydrating because you don't know it, but you're sweating and adrenaline's pumping. It's terrible.
Especially when you're in away games and you're sitting in a
Hotel
room
room is just-
and you're like, okay, I'm watching these exciting games. I'm getting excited. I'm here with the guy that I'm rooming with. It's like let's take a drip drop and let's like level real
Yes.
quick.
All this to say, there's a huge buildup, especially right when you get to the stadium. You get your wrist tape, you got activation, you go through a couple stations, get things firing, stretching out. Go get your pants on. You could go out to the field, do some work depending on who you are, how much you want to get in, and then it's time to take that next step. And Andy Ward is on it. They're on an extremely tight schedule, down to the minute.
And let's just talk about the slides because there would be a slide and that just screws your whole rhythm up. But anyways, keep going.
Anyways, Andy Ward did one of these things. And at the end of our warm-up, before it's time to put your pads on and pretty much walk out, he brings it up, and he always has his 2 cents to say, right? This is a team we're supposed to be. Andy Ward brings it up, and he goes, there's a couple bad words said. They're not bad words. A couple F-bombs said. He goes, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know who the fuck this is. He goes, I'll tell you one thing. Not much to say. Big bank, take little bank. That's it. Simple as that. You go in there, you take their lunch money. This isn't verbatim, but it's pretty summarized.
I mean, I'm getting chills right now. I'm like in the moment. I'm in the locker room or I'm in the weight room right
That's what I'm
now.
saying.
Just
you know what I'm talking
living
about.
the
And,
moment.
and we're swaying, and it's just like, there's some games where it's going to be a dogfight. Hey, these guys are pretty good. Hey, they hung with a big
Power
team last
5.
week. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
This was one of those games where it's just like, no, fuck that. We should beat their ass. Don't let them hang. Kick them in the teeth. Let them know why they are where they're at.
step on their throat and finish them.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it just gets you fired up, bro.
I mean, I'm reliving moments right now in the last 6 years of like all you warm up, you go there, you have your pants on, you don't have your pads on yet, but you're ready to go. And Coach Ward's saying, like karaoke, 5-10-5, like we're doing all these
Little
warm-ups, and then he's like, lock in.
Right.
And it's in that moment where it just kind of flips. And then all of a sudden you're in that moment, you're locked in, you put your pads on, you go out for warm-ups, and then Teddy comes in And I don't know if you were here for this, but we would have. What's that song? It's one of the. I think it's Aerosmith or something, and Teddy's singing it, and we're like, what is Teddy doing right now? But then we all just vibed with it. And then next thing you know, the next 2 years, we're just doing it. And every time that would happen, everybody's just mind would flip. And you would see it through the whole team. It's like, once that happened, people are locked in.
You don't know the song?
People are locked in. I forget the song.
How do you not remember the song?
Are you
Sing it.
in the air tonight? In the air tonight. Who's that? Phil Collins. There we go. Phil Collins. My bad.
No, you're fucking fast.
Whatever. Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. Yeah, he's laughing, whatever. Anyways, he wasn't there for the moment. But that would happen, and people's minds would just flip. I would see guys that are the most, loose and having fun, and then all of a sudden the mind just switches. And then they're coming out, and I know you remember this. Right as we're about to come out of the locker room, Teddy would do this thing, and he'd be like, he'd give you a little motivation, and then he would say, Bulldog football is not entrusted to Timber of the Week. And every time he would, the pride and tradition is not entrusted to Bulldog or to the
pride and tradition of Bulldog football is not entrusted to the
There we
Timber of
go.
the Week.
And every time it would get louder.
This guy had 6 years to figure it out.
Whatever. It would get louder and louder.
Yeah.
And every time it would get louder. And then there's just that moment where it breaks and we go and everybody holds the rope. And I feel like that moment is just where it flips. And guys go from, maybe a little loose to just locked in. And you're walking out the tunnel. And I remember my mom took a picture of you and I. We're running out of the tunnel, and we're just absolutely beside ourselves, just going nuts. Yeah. And there's this cool moment where we're jumping up, and I have this picture, and our arms are up, and we're just electric.
Lit.
But remember when you ran out, and that whole that the northwest side is just going crazy, and you're just like, let's go,
dude. Running
so
out,
many videos of that.
I would say like one of the biggest hypes you can't replace in life is running out of the tunnel. But to your long elaborate story, when you're waiting, pads on, all the warm up bullshit's done. TV's finishing up on the game before us. You're kind of sitting there swaying. It's quiet. Position groups are talking to you. You might be taking a piss, putting some eye black on or something like that.
Did you ever sniff like the ammonia?
Yes, I used to sniff the ammonia.
That was amazing.
Delicious.
Yes.
All this to be said, you're kind of swaying. And some guys listen to headphones. Some guys are just locking in. Linemen are headbutting the fucking showers and shit. But Teddy would walk with his, call sheet. He kind of, you could see the intenseness in his face.
Yes.
And he'd be looking at the clock, check in with Andy Ward. Like, all right, it's time to go. We might slide, like you said, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But then eventually he'd get to the spot he wanted to end up and be like, all right, bring it up. And it's just like, that was an automatic,
And when you grab your helmet and you throw it on, ready to walk up, I mean, there's no other feeling of
he says
let's go.
He says those chants. You walk out, you hold the
Which
rope.
I messed up, by the way.
Yeah, Steve, you fucking
I mean, that's crazy.
But the walk from the locker room, at least at Valley Children's Stadium, through the
Bulldog Stadium, by the way,
by the red brick, and then you turn that corner where the
yes,
the ramps
all
about
the fans
to start.
are.
Dude, you're
Oh
floating,
my gosh.
floating.
So the craziest thing, I had a buddy that was supposed to go to Fresno State, ended up going to Oregon State. We played them in 2022. He said, and he's played in a lot of big stadiums. He said that Bulldog Stadium is Valley Children's Stadium is one of the most electric places he's played at since he's been in college football.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about that for a second. 42,000 fans?
42,000, yeah.
Yeah, it is it's the epitome of college football. We have loud fans, we have crazy fans. Everybody's all in at all times. I mean, it's amazing. I love it.
First home game is going to be good.
Yeah.
We talked a little about Teddy just now, Steve. Let's just talk. Let's briefly discuss, the status of Teddy. Skip's the man now. Teddy departed. I think he's earned his statue. I got interviewed about it, and that was my response. I said, I hope he's healthy. I hope he's an asset to the university in the long term. I hope that we get a new stadium because Teddy's the freaking one of the spokespersons at the meeting where they were like, "Why should we do this?" And he's like,
Absolutely.
"Because we need to." But I think he's earned his statue, and the keys officially are with Skip.
So there's a few things there. So I went on KC24 and talked a little bit about when that all got announced. I've Tedford recruited me, and he was amazing. He's one of the coaches that has really, when he first resigned, it was tough. DeBoer was my quarterback coach at the time. I switched to safety, played under him as safety for a while, and when they announced Tedford coming back, I was just about to graduate, and I was like, am I going to play football? Am I not going to play football? I'm graduating. Where's my college career going at this point?
Right.
And when Tedford brought in the new staff, it was like a no-brainer. I'm staying. Tedford's the man. He's amazing. He's a player's coach. You know that.
is.
He is an absolute player's coach. He's done everything right for the players, and he's the man. On the flip side, I was also there when Coach Skip was able to coach us in the New Mexico Bowl. And the energy, he's young. He was a player at Fresno State. He gets it. He knows what Pride of the Valley means. He's a dog. I mean, you could feel the passion. The Friday night meetings, you remember the Friday night meetings, how passionate Tedford was. Coach Skip was able to take that and elevate it because he's younger, and he was able to show us how much passion and how much pride and how much it meant for us to win games for the people that came before us. It was amazing. I think it's only up from here with Coach Skip. I was just at practice Wednesday, and I mean, we were at you remember in A+ practices when you go up to the tent,
Right.
and he took a moment and he was like, "Hey, Comstock, I just want to tell you, like, you're always welcome here. You're a dog, you know, like anytime you want to come through." And he's like, "We're going to win a lot of games. We're going to continue anybody, anytime, anywhere tradition. We're going to get it done." And that's what I expect this year. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
It's gonna be amazing. What is your fall camp? A lot going on in fall camp. For people who don't know, fall camp, it's
It's a grind.
a grind. It's about 30 days. Yeah, it's about 22, 24 days of just you get there when it's dark and you leave when it's dark.
Yeah.
And it's all, yes, it's practice and it's lifts, but a lot of it's mental.
I think one of the big things is when you're a freshman, you don't know where to put your time and energy.
Yeah.
And once you're older, you realize, like, okay, where do I put my time and energy? And you get a lot more efficient with
Get
it.
a nap in and all
Absolutely, yeah. Get a nap in, kind of relax. But I think
Take care of your body.
Take care of your body is a huge thing. I had a few surgeries back in 2020, and that was a big moment when I realized, like, I'm not just a young kid anymore. Like, I need to take care of myself. And I think that's a big thing for a lot of college athletes is, like, how do you take care of your body? How do you prepare? What do you focus on? Do you focus on the physical aspect? Do you focus on the mental aspect? You know, and that's kind of what it comes down to is where are you at? Are you physically ready to go? Are you mentally not ready to go?
Right.
You know, and you kind of just get in where you fit in, and it's kind of a dynamic thing as you move through your career.
What day do you think is the hardest in fall camp?
It's got to be like day 10. You know, the first 5-6 days are fun. You're excited. You're
back.
You have a few helmet practices. You're back with the guys. It's awesome. Your energy's high. Your juices are flowing. Your piss is a little bit hot. But once you get to day 12, you're tired. Your legs are heavy. You know, you got to start finding ways to, okay, I need to rest. I need to get in the training room. I need to kind of get my mind right now. And not only that, now you have 12 installs. The mental aspect is just as heavy of a burden as the physical aspect. So it's just, how do you mitigate that? How do you kind of handle that? And that's really what comes down to. Everybody's always said you earn your position. You kind of get into the aspect of being a player in spring ball,
Right.
but you solidify your job in fall camp.
Absolutely. I'd say there's like 4 days in fall camp where you're like from a depth chart perspective, it's like, hey, whoever balls out these 4 days, it's
Oh yeah.
especially in a tight race.
And it's so tight. Like you talk about, there's so many different aspects. Like on offense, like when I was a quarterback, like, okay, what's your completion percentage? What's your touchdown percentage? How many picks have you thrown? This and that. When I was on defense, it's like, how many times have you had strip attempts? How many times have you forced a fumble? How many times have you had an interception? How many times have you missed an assignment? It's all so detailed and so minuscule.
margins.
It's razor thin, and it's like, can you perform and can you show that you're the best equipped guy for the job?
Yeah, you hit it on the head, and it also like from a mental aspect, it also starts to wear on you. From obviously it's long days.
Yeah.
In football's football, and from being offensive guys, like the playbook's the playbook.
Yeah.
But I think one thing where, at least as a wide receiver, the pressure would kind of start applying, because as a wideout, you're getting judged off of how good did you execute your assignments? Did you catch the ball? Did you make your blocks? Did you end up what you were supposed to do? If you ran a route that was complementary to another wide receiver, was it at the right depth? Did you run it correctly? Like, especially if you're running full field or half field concepts versus just a route tree.
Yes.
So all that, but at the end of the day, you're also a wide receiver.
Yeah.
You got to catch the fucking ball and go make a play, right?
Yeah.
So,
and that's a great point. Is like when you're a defensive player, because I've played both sides of the ball, it's so different. Like there's times where I've been competing with a guy, and I'm like, okay, I have X amount of PBUs or X amount of missed assignments or X amount of really big plays. But it really comes down to the nitty gritty, like you're saying, is like, am I in the right spot? Am I doing the right things? Am I a asset or a detriment to the defense? And on defense, that's kind of how it's looked like. On offense, you might be a big play receiver where you have a role there, but on defense, it's very, very minuscule of like, are you a guy that's going to give up a big pop and give up a big play, or are you a guy that's steady, consistent?
yeah.
Are you going to get it done?
All that's completely true. I would say from a guy who's seen and been a part of getting reps at all the levels, right? I've had positions where if you're the H-back, there's been 7 H-backs on the depth chart.
Yeah.
Number 1, Damari Scott's number 1 all the way up to number 7. And you're like, okay, how do I trim the fat? They're probably only going to travel 7, 8, or 9 receivers, blah, 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 blah. What am I doing? And it starts off day 1 of fall camp where everyone's getting reps, right? The 1s, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s. You get rotated in with the 5s, whatever the fuck it might be. And then it turns into, by day 6, now they cut some of those out. And then now the 3s are only getting 1 rack. And all these guys have to share these reps. So you go from getting, call it 20 reps a day to 5 reps a day. This is all team, obviously.
And that's like the hardest part.
Well, it's hard to. One of the best things, and one of the reasons you're successful in football, especially as an offensive player, is you play loose, you play with swagger, you play with confidence.
Look good, feel good, play good.
Exactly. And
Yes.
I think you hit a point from a mental aspect where you're like, shit, man, I got these 5 plays today.
Yep.
Like, if I fuck one of these plays up,
It's over.
it's over. And it shouldn't be, because maybe you had a good spring, and you had a good winter, and you had a good summer, and you had a good first 4 days, but it's like, hey, these are your 5 plays today. If you have 5 plays and you fuck one of them up, that means you have a 20% failure rate.
It's not looking
way
good.
too high.
Yeah.
Way too high.
Yeah.
Or let's say you only got 8 balls thrown to you, and you happen to drop one. Your catch percentage
Way down. Yeah.
all of a sudden. Now, there's coaching staffs where this holds true. There's coaching staffs where it's like, I don't really care. And that also comes down to how much has the school, the team, the university, go to the NFL, the business invested in you. I've brought this up too. If you're a first-round draft pick wide receiver, and they're paying you millions and millions of dollars, and you go to practice and you drop 2 balls at practice, and you got an undrafted free agent wide receiver next to you, and he goes to practice and drops 2 balls at practice. Both those 2 drops, they're not equal.
No, they're not.
So you got to take, and that's again, that's one of those things where, like, there's the political side of the game.
Well, and that's what I've always said. Like when I switched from quarterback to safety, I told myself, there's going to be a little bit of leeway here for guys that have been in the position, have done the job, this and that, right? Don't make it close.
Right.
If you're undoubtedly the best, you are going to play.
Yeah.
I've said that since I was in Pop Warner, and I'll say that till the day I was finished playing football. If you're undoubtedly the best, you are going to play.
Yeah.
But if you make it close, there's going to be question, and then that's up to coach's discretion. And that's always the tough part is like, I remember thinking like, okay, I missed 3 tackles, right, in the last 4 games. And I'm like frustrated because somebody's getting playing time over me. Well, guess what? I didn't separate enough.
Right.
And that's a huge thing in college football is how much can you separate and give yourself leeway to have a few mistakes. In football, everybody's going to have a mistake.
That's why it's a game.
It's going to happen. You could look at the best players in the NFL. They make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's not a game of perfection. But how can you separate yourself to where when you do make a mistake, you're able to rebound and go make a big play?
Well, and I think it just leads back to if you make a mental as an athlete. And this isn't just college. This is anybody, right? This could be U6 soccer all the way up to the Olympics. And
even in business life, really,
if you make it to where a coach can't not play you.
Exactly.
Hey, why are you so and so playing? I mean, he's assignment perfect. He catches everything, or he runs the ball hard every time.
Yeah.
He executes his blocks. Oh, by the way, he has good grades. He shows up to meetings early with a notebook open. He understands that his nutrition's a priority. He's never been late for tutoring. All this shit, all of it, which doesn't sound like a big deal, it means so much more.
Yeah.
And even like fall camp right now, it's the ultimate time where, guys are going to be out there and be scouting out. And you might see 10 dudes go do a drill, and 3 of them look really good. And then you might look at the depth chart in 3 weeks and be like, why are those 3 on there? And it's like,
right.
They don't know their assignment.
Exactly.
They showed up late. They slept in and showed up late to a meeting.
Outside of football,
It all
things,
comes
yes.
together, and that's relevant in anything that you do. Jalen Johnson says it very often. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
So the margins of football are just as important the margins of anything.
Absolutely.
If I want somebody consistently, if I bring somebody on to bring the juice staff and I want them to consistently be doing something, I expect it. There's a standard.
I mean, I was just going to say
There's
the standard, and I think that's what Tedford did a really good job of when he was a really good coach, is like he built the standard of a lot of things that we did. Right. And I think that's kind of, as I'm getting into my life and after football, like that's huge, is the standard. Like, what is the standard? It doesn't matter what you're doing. There's a standard of everything to be excellent or to be mediocre. And I think that's so huge. And a lot of people don't think about that. And let's talk about creating content, right?
Sure.
You've asked me to create some content.
Sure.
And when I'm making content, sometimes I'm like, you know what? There's a standard of content. Do I want to be a person that's just blabbering, or do I want to be a person that's creating good content for
Josh Woods? Don't go checking boxes.
I don't want to just be making content to make content. I want to, when I'm doing content for you, I want to be actually making content that's relevant, that's good. And I think one of the good things in our group chat we were talking about is like relevancy. How relevant is it? I think that's like a huge thing too, is
Right.
like, is it good content? Is it to the standard of what is needed, or are you just going through the motions?
Yeah.
I think that's a huge thing in life, whether it's content, business, football, whatever.
So right now, today it's August 8th. So this is going to be released in like a week or so. What do you think are some hot topics in the world right now?
I think you've hit on a few. I think the openings of the Olympics was insane.
Terrible.
That was kind of crazy. I think one of the crazy topics, which is crazy, the United States has been the number 1 in gold medals since 1996. We've won 6. We've won 6 of the 7. The only one we didn't win was Beijing in 2008.
Who won that? Jamaica?
No,
China?
China. we're really close. We're neck and neck right now. And in the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, China lost to us by 1, little bro. Sorry, but I think that's kind of the standard, right? Like we have the standard of winning.
We're number one.
We're number one, and
Keep it that way.
in total medals, whatever. Like, yeah, we have a lot of athletes that go. We need to win the gold medal. We need to have the most gold medals out of any country every year. That's just the standard. I think that's like huge.
So, okay, I agree with you. I was gonna go on this rant. I still might. You might see it twice.
Do it.
Okay. First of all, one side note, the country if you're a betting man, the country that hosts the Olympics always wins.
Ball out.
Pride, they know their track better. They just know it better. It's a home field advantage. It's a true thing. I know in the Winter Olympics, especially from my experience. But you mentioned a little bit of the Team USA dominance. From a Olympic perspective, you get paid to win a gold medal, $37,500, $37,500 to win a gold medal. Gold medal. It doesn't matter if it's field hockey or the 100-meter dash. $37,000. Other countries, I don't want to rip off numbers I don't know right now.
I think there's
Astronomically high.
There's a country I don't remember. You can't quote me, but over 700,000 to win a gold medal.
And I'm not saying you should become really good at track and field to go make 700 G's at all, but we need to reward these guys a little bit more. And I know what people are saying, and this is what I learned from my experience doing the bobsled. People think, oh, well, they get all this sponsorship money. They do not get as much as you think on the sponsorship money side of things. Not even close.
I couldn't agree more. I think when
What's the net worth of Michael Phelps? Can we get that?
Let's look that up, because I was just looking, and some of the people that have won gold on these I think it's like Hong Kong. I think Hong Kong's the number one paying. 90 million. And
really?
90 million. Michael Phelps.
With a long-standing partnership with
Puma.
10 million annually from Puma.
So, wow.
Can we talk about one thing? Snoop Dogg?
Steve, we're bouncing around. Let's get to Snoop Dogg.
Okay. We'll get to Snoop Dogg.
I'm saying 37 grand a year.
I agree.
37.5 grand to win a gold.
That's huge. I mean, that's not a small feat. Like, that's a big deal. Gold medal, Olympics.
I'm saying they're not enough.
And I think we can do a little bit more. I mean,
I think it should be at least 100 grand.
At least I don't see why we can't
Like,
do
at
that.
least do a square 100 grand. I look at it from a math perspective, for my math people out there. Okay. There are 329 gold medals that can be won at the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
If you put 37,000 times 329, you get like $12 million. Okay?
Thank you.
$12 million. The United States shits that in like seconds, right? And I'm not going to get into how much money we give to other countries or this, that, and the other.
That's
That's
academic.
all besides
Who
the
cares?
fact. But let's just use the comparison of what you were saying on Snoop Dogg, okay? Snoop Dogg right now is making $500,000 a day to be in the Olympics. If Snoop Dogg, how long is he there for? 24 days?
Something like that, yeah.
24 times 500,000 is $12 million. So Snoop Dogg's tab to go to the Olympics is just as much as if the United States won gold medal in every single event. If it was a gold medal sweep, Snoop Dogg being at the Olympics, 329 gold medals for Team USA, complete sweep, absolute world dominance, equal from a monetary standpoint.
And it's crazy to think about, like, these people are putting in their whole lives. Their whole life is dedicated to one thing, right?
Yeah.
And they're getting $37,500.
They're getting, Steven, you're forgetting this. They're getting $37,000 if they win the fucking gold medal.
Yes, like the best of the best. Like, it's not even
No, not the best of the best. Number one.
that.
Overall, the best of the best is going to the Olympics.
Yeah,
Number one is the best.
The best.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
The motherfucking best is you win the gold medal and you get 37 G's. I don't know if they get taxed on it or anything like that. But let's say you're an athlete who doesn't have sponsorship dollars. Like, dude, you're
And they're riding on that. That's what they're riding on.
well, you could get sponsorship dollars is how, like, I know, like in bobsled skeleton, it was you get companies to support you and basically they fund you to travel and do all these things.
Yeah.
I'm sure for the Olympics that Team USA covers that bill at least. But even look at the Olympic Village. Does that look like it's a fun place? Just the beds in the rooms. They're shitty dorms with 2 micro twin size beds.
Well,
that are made of
I've
cardboard.
heard the reason.
Yeah, because people be like to
They be
have
wilding, bro.
lovey-dovey time
Yeah,
too much.
which is to each their own.
I also just am like, I'm also just like, if I'm the Olympic committee, I'm like, just let it go, man. Get us some fucking
what are they
Tempur-Pedics.
doing? Cardboard box?
I'm saying it's
beds or
cardboard
something?
box
Yeah,
beds, but
what
I'm
is
saying like,
that?
just like anything in this world, if somebody really wants to do something, they're gonna find a way to fucking do it.
Yes. Yes.
There's the floor. Like, anyways, I just think that the $37,000.
Yeah, I think that's
it's ridiculous.
I think it's horseshit. Honestly.
As much as dominant we are, I think other countries
Well, I
put
mean,
more into it.
I did the math. Hong Kong has 2 gold medals and I think 2 bronze medals. They've paid out more right now than the United States has,
2 gold medals
and 2 bronze.
and 2 bronze have paid out more.
I did the math, and I'm pretty sure they have paid out more. I don't think they expected to win 2 golds.
Yeah.
But it's like $720,000, and we when you do the math,
It's close.
it's close, and that's crazy. I mean, we have the funds to do it. Like, we're just not
Spend
doing
money
it.
on other shit.
Yeah. What are our priorities? Anyways, go ahead.
What do you think about the Olympics adding flag football?
I think we should just add
Regular
football.
I
11
think,
man.
I think it'd be similar to basketball. although
Well,
basketball's
have you seen, like, we've had like United States teams go and play and blah
Lose.
blah blah, and they lose, and I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah, but
like,
go let Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek
Yeah,
and
it's-
let the boys go hoop.
it's like 200-0.
Yeah,
Like, it's not even close. So I get it. Like, yeah, we can't put football in the Olympics because the United States will just dominate because it's not a thing in.
it is a
other
thing.
countries. I don't think it's not a big enough thing in other countries, but I think we would absolutely dominate, and it's just another goal.
Okay, but flag football. People are claiming flag football is a different sport. I was approached at Super Bowl this last year when we went Radio Row. Remember that guy? Dude, this dude comes up to me and he keeps wanting to come on bring the juice. He's like, hey, I'm in charge of flag football for the Olympics in 2028 for Team USA.
Yeah.
And they have teams now and whatnot. And he's got like a chick with him. Cool. Awesome. And I'm like, awesome, man. And I was like, do you, who are you going to have? Like, we got to be super good.
Yeah.
We should win that.
Yeah. Easy.
He's like, well, I don't think any of the NFL guys are going to make the roster. And I said,
They were
you don't.
top tier.
He goes, I don't think they're going to make the roster. And I said, what? Like, what do you mean? He's like, it's a whole different sport.
Did he have San Joaquin Memorial High School going out there?
No. Oh my God. No. But he, Jake, you could back up. He was like trying to dead ass convince me that flag football players
Are
on
better.
his team are better than our Pro Bowl teams. And I'm just like, go put Justin Jefferson out there at X. See what happens.
Yeah. Head top like this.
I'm just saying, like, nobody's. I think there was a disconnect. I was like, do you realize how big freak athletes NFL players are? Especially skill position if it's 7-on-7 style. Give me a break.
It's not even close.
But I'm excited. I do wonder if there's. I don't think any NFL guys will necessarily play in it. I'm sure there's going to be some
There's
sort of a
plenty
clause.
of other guys.
I think it'll be a lot of guys. No. I think it's all going to be guys who just retired, and this is like their last little.
I'll go play in the
relevancy.
Olympics and
Like, I could see it's 2024 right now. If it's 2028, I would say who's going to retire in like 4 years? Russell Wilson. Will he be retired by then?
Yeah. I mean, depending on how he wants.
I'm going through it right now.
Let's just say Russell Wilson.
Let's say no, but it's 4 years. A lot of shit could happen in 4 years.
Let's just say Russell Wilson.
Okay, Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson could go out there and dice up any team we play against.
I don't even think that's a question. I mean, I don't think that's
a conservative.
I think Russell Wilson could go out there with a mediocre receiving core and put up 70 points on any team in the country or any team in the world.
We lost to like Japan or some shit.
Yeah. You saw
Unacceptable.
that too?
Unacceptable.
Yeah. No. It's not. It's not real life.
No, it's unacceptable. It's
Not real
irrelevant.
life.
It's unacceptable. What about the? We just recently watched men's basketball barely sneak away against the Joker and Serbia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was close. I mean, they were down 11, I think, when I saw it,
I just think
and they won by 4.
all bullshit set aside, and we just said our 2 cents on football. If you are on Team USA men's basketball and you lose and don't win gold, your era of basketball, I think, is tainted.
I think so too. I think that's just one of those things that's non-negotiable. Like, it's not even a standard. It's just like procedural. Like, how we lose to Serbia? If we lost to Serbia, that would be really bad.
Now, on the contrary, I think our guy Nikola, he gets some major bragging rights.
Absolutely.
He might even boost his Vegas odds on MVP for the next season. Because
I
of it.
agree. And I'm definitely not negating how good he is, but at the same time, it's like you talk about the firepower that we had as the United States. Did they not take it serious? When you looked at the quarterfinals matchup, like everybody was saying, like they took it very professional. They played really well. They played together. They did great. But we need to keep that through the finals.
Yeah.
It's basketball. It's game by game. Anybody can beat anybody in basketball.
What about Noah Lyles talking all that shit? He won the hundo.
Okay.
He came back.
So,
Great race.
I mean,
Great race.
I watched that live, and I was like, as soon as he got off, I was like, ooh, man, that's not
Slow
good.
get off.
I was like, that's not good. Like, he looks bad. And I was at lunch, and I was like, we were watching on a phone, and I was like, ooh, that was not good. And then all of a sudden, he just dogs it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? That was impressive. And I was, and for me, I was like, he's ready. Like, he's ready to go for the rest of the Olympic Games. This guy's going to be lights out. I don't know what happened to the 200.
So
I don't know. There's got to be something that happened there because he looked ready, and all of the shit talking aside,
a lot of shit talking.
I think there might be something there that it might be excuses. I don't know. I'm not the one to say because I'm not there, and I've been an athlete where I've been very confident and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And you know what? You got to eat that. But at the same time, you can't go and say
You can't talk all that
the world champs of what and then lose. Third place, not even second place.
Yeah. No. Noah Lyles is without a doubt extremely respected forever and ever, being in the United States of America and to win the 100-meter dash.
And he did it in a great fashion.
The shit talk's one thing. That's a separate conversation.
Yes.
What I didn't like, this is just me. I didn't like that as soon as it was out, I got COVID.
Yeah.
Noah Lyles wins bronze medal with COVID. I'm like,
it was a little finicky.
No disrespect. You got. It's motherfucking Olympics.
Yeah.
Fuck COVID.
And
fuck
and
anything.
when you talk that amount of mess,
don't say that.
And that's his race.
I know.
His race is the 200. When he won the 100, I was like, well, he's got to smoke everybody in the 200.
Yeah.
And then he goes out there and does that and then says, COVID, I don't know. That just doesn't sit well with me.
I don't like that the race ended and that was the first graphic made.
Agreed.
I don't like, you can't talk that much shit, lose it, and instead of just being like, hey, he lost.
Good job.
It was like a positive thing. Like, even with COVID, he got third place. And it's like, yeah, but 8 minutes ago he was talking shit how he's the fastest in the world. Like
Exactly.
you gotta
If-
you gotta
and-
eat your words on that a little.
So
bit.
so
You have to,
so
just a
don't
little
get me
bit.
wrong. If he was like, I got COVID, I'm down bad right now. I got COVID. Blah blah. Blah. It's I don't know. It just still feels weird. Like if before the race he was like, hey, I got COVID. I'm still gonna run the race. Blah blah blah. And he takes third. All right. You know what? You're sick.
I would say all this too. If he was in the room, I'd be like, round table conversation.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Like, hey,
What happened?
I don't think we're off here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
We have a wedding we're going to this weekend.
Yes.
So one of our good friends, his name's Nate Madsen. He played football with us at Fresno State.
Good man.
Good dude. He's
Introduced me to golf.
Fun facts about Nate Madsen.
Yes.
If you had to, he's from the north. He's in Eureka. And if you're a California guy, that's really north, like super fucking north, like damn near Oregon. North. So, he has a super inconveniently located wedding.
Yeah.
What's your mindset on getting invited to weddings that are either during football season or super inconveniently located?
That's a multi-factored question
Yes,
because
it's a big load.
so Georgie Helmuth, our boy,
Yeah.
big dog.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. So he asked me to be his groomsman, and I was so excited. I was his roommate at the time, super excited to be one of his groomsmen. But, and you know this because you were there, I couldn't go to the bachelor trip, and I couldn't go to the wedding, which, I mean, how the heck am I going to do that? So, and that was all because of spring ball and things, football. It is what it is. That was tough. Sucks. And he had told me, he's like, hey, I've missed a few weddings. It's all right, blah, blah, blah. That's a hard thing. Crazy story on the side part of that. We had fall camp. His wedding was on a Friday. We had fall camp on a Saturday. And it's Tuesday night, and I'm like, dude, this is my dog. Like, I love this guy. Screw it. I'm going to the wedding after our walkthrough on Friday. And I'm like,
Yeah, because you went to the wedding as a spectator.
I went to the wedding. And I was like, you know what? I might not be a groomsman anymore, but
Here to support.
I'm here to support.
That means something, though.
Yeah, and I got done with fall camp walkthroughs at like 11:30
AM.
Jump in my truck, drive my butt to Malibu, get there at like, I don't know, like 2 o'clock. Wedding's at 3. Go through the wedding, awesome. Go to the reception, have a few drinks. I'm feeling great.
Healthy.
I'm with my boy. It's awesome. We're all excited. He didn't know I was going. It was amazing. Like, kind of one of those moments where you're like, I have pictures of it. It's like, no way you're here. I can't believe it. It was awesome. I had the fall camp scrimmage the next morning. Didn't get back to Fresno until 3 o'clock. Absolutely balled out.
Good.
Had like 8 tackles, 2 PBUs. Like
I know Elias can't win a
3
fucking gold
yeah,
medal.
I
off
mean,
a
come on,
goddamn
dude.
Little
Like
sore throat.
COVID. Yeah. I went to my buddy's wedding in
Cough
Malibu.
drops,
In
bro.
Malibu.
Emergency.
Like, come on, bro. Like, figure it out. Pull it out the fire, Leon. And had an absolute awesome scrimmage. It was great. But like you're saying, weddings, things like that, out of town, so hard to get to. I mean, this is a tough one for me. Just being out of football, having to go to Eureka, I wouldn't miss it. Nate is the man.
Yeah.
I lived with him for
It's
a
a
while.
send, though, bro.
It is a send.
It's a send. It's an 8 to 9 hour drive.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm driving it on the day of the wedding.
So am I.
Well, Mr.
I
My
wasn't gonna.
PJ is.
We rented a PJ. I have a pregnant wife. My wife's 8 months pregnant. Shout out to Toots. And
Tootsie.
she wanted to go. There's a group of other people that have pregnant wives, and it was like we looked into a private charter. split it up. By the time you did the math on it, it's like, hey, we don't got to do a hotel room. We're going to save money on gas. What's our time worth? Blah, blah, blah. It was actually very reasonable.
Yeah.
And sure enough, got the call day before the wedding right now. And it's not going to make it. There's some air show. I hope the people at the air show have a really good time. A really good time.
Because Frank's a nice guy.
I'm a really nice guy for that one. So I'm going to be driving too.
That's a caveat of juice golf, which a lot of people don't remember.
Oh, dude.
He's a nice guy.
I'm undefeated.
He's
in
a nice
juice golf.
guy, right?
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up with your juice golf experience. Again, we're in the content game.
Okay, wait, time out.
'Kay.
So I just shot an 89 at Dragonfly today.
Yeah, hard course.
It
Bryson
wasn't-
DeChambeau's course.
Hard course, Bryson DeChambeau's course. Wasn't my best golf. I honestly missed a few putts.
This guy sucks.
Didn't do the best, but I shot an 89. It was good. I was extremely excited because I could easily shoot a 95. But I get dog walked by Frank Dalena in juice golf.
Fuck
So
yeah,
here's my thing.
'Kay.
Here's my thing. I think we need a juice golf at any course that Frank wants. 18 holes, any punishment,
Let's go.
and I'm going to dog walk Frank.
I love that.
Yeah, like with a little leash like this, like a poodle.
I am 3-0 in juice golf, undefeated. Undefeated. I say at the goose sake.
Par 3 course, by the way, 9 holes. Let's get some.
I love how we're making detailed excuses.
No. It's not excuses.
Detailed
Frank,
excuses
Frank,
here.
you.
Yeah.
No.
With
This is
COVID.
not excuses. Frank beat me
Steve,
fair and square.
true or false? Let's play true or false.
No. Frank beat me fair and square. Great putting, great execution. I mean, the first 6 holes were amazing. You did really well.
Well, yeah, let's finish that.
No, you did well. There's no finishing it. Like you did really good.
Let's play true or false.
Okay.
A little game I like to call true or false.
He played really good, and he tased me, but I also tased him. So whatever.
It was a pity tase.
Yeah,
True or false?
Hey, by the way, he was crying about it after. He was
True or
like,
false?
"Why'd you tase me so hard?"
True or false?
Anyways,
Are you or are you not 0-1 in juice golf? True or false?
No,
True or false? No question.
No. I'm 0-1. But
I didn't ask for peanut gallery after. It's true. or
0-1.
false?
0-1. I'm 0-1.
It's true.
Why?
Just say true.
What's wrong with that?
Say true.
It's true. What's wrong with that?
Are
Let's get you on it.
Have you
let's
never
get
beat
you on
me?
an 18?
Have you never beat me in juice golf? True. or
I've
false?
never beat you on juice golf. But let's get him.
You want to play true or false?
This guy's like Kamala Harris. Holy smokes.
Right.
Oh, hello. Anyways, let's get you on 18 holes and let's go.
I think that's the ultimate. Like, let's say
I-
we were to race in the 40-yard dash for the Baldy, and
I
beat
would
you.
race you in the.
Can I finish a thought, Steve?
I would race
Win
you
the
for the 40.
40-yard dash. One guy wins. The other guy's like, let's run it on the track.
No. Time out.
Or let's do a 30-yard dash or a 50-yard dash.
Have
Walking out with the scalped head.
Frank? Did I not tell you that you definitely beat me in juice golf?
That's all we needed to hear.
That's yes.
all we needed to hear.
Now let's do a full 18.
Let's do a full 18.
All right, for the Baldy.
I'll get the Baldy.
For the Baldy.
When are we going to play?
Whenever you want.
We're playing juice golf. We're not just playing golf. We're playing juice golf.
Juice golf. Absolutely. For the Baldy.
For the Baldy.
Straight up.
Okay.
I'm not a coward. For the Baldy. Don't give me that Frank Dalena smile. All right? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Let's play 18 holes for the Baldy.
Okay.
Juice golf
Okay.
at whatever course you want. For the bald head.
Any course I want.
It has to be an 18 hole.
What's that mean?
It can't be Valley Golf. It's got to be an
So now
18
he's
hole.
picking the courses I can't. and
No,
can't
I
play.
said a full 18 hole
Isn't it-
course.
if we played a 9-hole twice, that'd be an 18-hole course.
No, I'm saying a par 5 with par 5s, par 4s, par 3s.
Good.
It could be any course you want.
My driver's been on point.
Oh, good. I can't wait. I hit my 5-iron further than your driver. I can't wait.
All right. Put it on the books. Juice golf for the Baldy. Juice golf, though.
Juice golf. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just golf,
Yes.
juice golf.
Yes. And guess what? Everybody always says like sports is like 85%. A lot of it is mental, right?
Yeah.
Frank Dalena got me in the mental game in the first 6 holes.
97% fucking mental.
Dude, this guy was dialed.
It's like reading
on the
a
mental.
book.
He got me. I mean, this was the thing. I was so relaxed in juice golf. This guy was like, "Oh, it's okay, Steve. All you got to do is blah blah blah." Little did I know I was getting molly-whopped. And then
Check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube, and check out when I whooped this little guy's butt on YouTube, little boy.
Where?
Yes, when I beat you in juice golf next game.
Oh, you're speaking in the future. You
Yes.
got to clarify that type of shit. The people are going to be
No, no, no.
Googling fucking Frank Dalena versus Steven Comstock UFC
Yeah,
cage.
yeah. Hey, you want to do UFC? Let's go.
No, Steve, quit getting fired up on competitions. You're
My
going
bad.
to
my
lose
bad.
the
I
battle.
love competition. Hey, that's what juice is all about, right?
Good.
Competition.
Steve, you got your cherry popped on Bring the Juice.
Finally.
Yeah. I expect big things out of you. Also, let's put this on record on camera. So we have a challenge. It's called the 10-week challenge of
Yes,
content.
this is going to be great.
Steve's going to have to produce one piece of content for 10 weeks. If not, he has to shave his head. And I get to taser him.
That was not what you said. This
Smell
is
that?
news to me.
Smell that?
This is news to me.
Smell that? I smell fear.
This is news to me.
What's one of the ultimate
Wait,
principles
so
today?
10
Control
weeks?
the controllables.
10 weeks in a row.
Why not? I do fucking
Frank, this is-
14 a day.
14 a day.
I could do 14 a day.
Where's the receipts?
I could do okay.
Where are the
fine.
receipts?
Let's do this.
No.
Let's do this.
No.
I'll do 100 to your 10.
To my 10.
Yeah.
100 videos to my 10. And when is the date? Let me pull up my phone. When is the date?
Is that too many? He has to do 1 a week. Is that too many? He could. I need to do 10. I need to do 10 a week. He needs to do 1 a week.
10 a week is crazy. Frank, why don't we just do this, Frank?
You make the odds.
Frank, why don't we just do this? Let me do 1 a week. Let's put a standard on it,
That's the
right?
That's standard.
I've made one video.
It's like telling a 6-year-old to wipe his ass before he leaves the bathroom. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a lot better than you did. But anyways, 1 a week for the next 10 weeks, which started last week, or do you want me to start this week? It doesn't matter.
Start last week.
Last week,
It's
okay.
Thursday afternoon. I don't see any fucking content yet.
It's all right. 1 a week for 10 weeks, and if I don't perform, then you can shave my head.
Deal. You miss a week, head shaved.
Yeah, but by the way,
No buts. If it's
No,
2 weeks from now and you miss a week,
no,
scalp.
no,
Scalp
that's
doodle D.
Scalped, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, I will make a video, and Frank's like, "That's dog shit."
Do we produce dog shit? We're past that stage.
It's pretty good.
We're past that stage.
I think.
Yeah. 1 a week.
All right,
1 week, 10 weeks.
all right,
All right, done deal.
booked.
Army of Grit, we appreciate you. You're going to hear more from Steven Comstock soon. A lot of big announcements. Be on the lookout for what your tailgate plans are for Fresno State football games. Got a lot of things coming. Steve, before I wrap it up, anything you want to add?
Thank you, Frank.
Good.
Thank you.
Love to see it. Steven Comstock finding his identity as a Bring the Juice character.
Let's go.
What will it be? You could decide. Appreciate you all. Stay fired up. Get your piss hot. We'll see you next time.